अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छप्तं धनञ्जय. Translation: My dear Arjun, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Purport: In this verse, two different processes of Bhakti Yoga are indicated. The first applies to one who has actually developed an attachment for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by transcendental love, and the other is for one who has not developed an attachment for the Supreme Person by transcendental love. For this second class, there are different prescribed rules and regulations one can follow to be ultimately elevated to the stage of attachment to Krishna. Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses. At the present moment in material existence, the senses are always impure, being engaged in sense gratification. But by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, these senses can become purified, and in the purified state, they come directly in contact with the Supreme Lord. In this material existence, I may be engaged in some service to some master, but I don't really lovingly serve my master. I simply serve to get some money. And the master also is not in love. He takes service from me and pays me. So there is no question of love. But for spiritual life, one must be elevated to the pure stage of love. That stage of love can be achieved by practice of devotional service performed with with the present senses.
Thanks a lot, Mother. I'll read the remaining.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This love of God is now in a dormant state in everyone's heart, and their love of God is manifested in different ways, but it is contaminated by material association. Now the heart has to be purified of the material association, and that dormant natural love for Krishna has to be revived. That is the whole process. To practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, one should, under the guidance of an expert spiritual master, follow certain principle. One should rise early in the morning, take bath, enter the temple and offer prayers and chant Hare Krishna, then collect flowers to offer to the deity, cook food stuff to offer to the deity, take prasadam and so on. There are various rules and regulations which one should follow, and one should constantly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. This practice can help anyone rise to the level of God, and then he's sure of his progress into the spiritual kingdom of God. This practice of Bhakti Yoga under the rules and regulations with the direction of a spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of God. There are so many rules and regulations, and if one at all wants to understand Krishna, he must follow the regulative principle described in authoritative literature. One can perform penances in accordance with those principles. For example, to undergo serious penances, one may observe fasting on Janmashtami, the day on which Krishna appeared, and the 2 days of Ekadashi, the 11th day after the new moon, on the 11th day after the full moon. This from the Bhagavad Gita 11.54. One has to perform devotional service and full tapasya austerity. One should fast on the 2 Ekadashi days, which falls on 11th day of waxing and waning moon, and on the birthdays of Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many such fasting days. Yogena means by controlling the senses and mind. Yogendriya Samyaha. Yogena implies that one is seriously absorbed in the self and is able, by development of knowledge, to understand his constitutional position in relationship with the super self. In this way, one becomes fixed in devotional service, and his faith cannot be shaken by any material allurement. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.27.22. In the Brahma Vaivarta Puran, it is said that one who observes fasting on Ekadashi day is freed from all kind of reaction to sinful activities and advance in pious life. The basic principle is not just to fast, but to increase one's faith and love for Govinda or Krishna. The real reason for observing fasting on Ekadashi is to minimize the demand of the body and to engage our time in the service of Lord by chanting or performing similar service. The best thing to do on fasting days is to remember the pastime of Govindas and to hear his holy name constantly. Thank you. So, Mataji, like today's session is more on the rules and regulation and the importance of Ekadashi. So, I'll tell you one short story which is told by Srila Prabhupada to some of his intimate disciples, and those disciples has again foretold these stories. So, this is from the Grahasthashram pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, he was, as we all know, he was earlier a businessman. He was dealing with medicine, and he was more of an like medical man. He was having a pharmacy, and then he was having manufacturing units where so many medicines are getting manufactured. Even right now, some of his products are getting sold in Kolkata and nearby areas, or some of his prescriptions and the way that he was taking the medicines are still being sold. Um, so he was a very social man and he was having many friends. And earlier there was a practice because there were no phone or SMS or WhatsApp kind of services. So whenever the friends meet, they decide that okay, on this particular day, you are invited to come and eat on my day, my home. So Prabhupada, he was having many like friends from all the religion. Um, so any person who is God conscious, whether he's of Christian faith or he's having a Muslim faith, Prabhupada was having those friend circle. So there was a nice saintly Muslim person. So Prabhupada was having friendship with him as well. And there was a practice that he used to invite Prabhupada at his home for food, and then similarly Prabhupada used to invite him at his home for taking dinner, etc., lunch or dinner. So Prabhupada told him to come on a particular day, and then there was no phone or any such way by which one can inform of his other plan. So it was decided that on such and such date, this Muslim gentleman will come to Prabhupada house for taking food, lunch, or dinner prasadam. And Prabhupada missed to notice that that particular day is Ekadashi, and he accidentally gave him that particular day for this person to come. And Prabhupada was very morose, thinking that, oh, it's on Ekadashi, I have invited him. But, anyways, because there is no phone or anything, so let him come and then I'll tell him my condition. So, on a particular Ekadashi day, this Muslim gentleman he came, and Prabhupada told him that I'm really sorry that I invited you on this day. And because today is Ekadashi, so we cannot offer you like nice grain prasadam, and I beg forgiveness, and maybe you can come on some other day, and then I will serve you some very nice prasadam. So then this Muslim gentleman, he became very relieved. He told that I am very um, grateful that you didn't offer me to eat anything, because I also became very perplexed later on when I came to know that this day is Ekadashi, how I will eat on this day. So then Prabhupada became very curious that oh, Ekadashi generally like Vaishnavas or Hindus people, they generally take fast. So how is it possible that you being born in a Muslim family, you are fasting on Ekadashi? How is that possible? So then this Muslim gentleman, he revealed his story. I hope Reena Mataji, you are with me, right? You're listening me?
Yeah, I think I'm waiting curiously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so this Muslim gentleman, he told him that actually I have not told this uh, even to my own uh, near and dear one, and no one in my near family as well knows that I fast on Ekadashi. Because being a Muslim, if he's fasting on Ekadashi, everyone will say that, oh, why? Like he's following the regulations of Hindu people, what has happened to him. But he told that actually there is a great secret behind this. Um, it so happened that he, so there is his house. So his house, there is a shortcut to his house. So generally there is a normal pathway and then there is a shortcut that if he goes via forest that he can cut down to some kilometers and then he can reach his house which is situated in a village. So he told that I generally used to take shortcut going to my house. And one day it so happened that it became little dark, but I thought that oh, anyways, I know this path very well and it's um shortcut I can reach my house early. So I took again that shortcut and I was through this forest trying to reach my home. And then I saw that there is a group of men, very ugly looking men, different kind of people, and they're laughing in a very strange voice and they're laughing very severely. And then I became inquisitive that who are these people? And I have not seen such a group of people, such kind of characteristic and such kind of laugh. So he became curious and he inquired from those people that who are you? And then these people they told that we are actually ghost. And then he was a pious Muslim person, so he could understand that because of his faith on Allah, they cannot harm him. But he became very inquisitive and he inquired that then why you guys are laughing. So they told that actually we are laughing because this the village in which you are living, the village zamidar, he's a very rich man, he's very proud, and he's very sinful, and we know that on such a such date he is going to climb on his he will have a fight with his wife. He will become very angry and then he will climb his horse, and as soon as he was about to uh, run away with his house with his horse, the horse will make him fell down. Horse will slip and he will fell down from that horse. He will break his head open, and because he is in utter shock of his injury, in shock he will die and he will become ghost. And we are very happy that this person will also join us in our ghost party. So we'll have one more ghost with us. So that's why we are very happy and we are laughing. So this person, he became very uh, shocked to hear that, but without giving much attention, he again walked back to his village. And then he was very much perplexed. He was thinking that whether they are really ghosts or there are some people who are trying to prank me. So he was not very much sure that what he should do. But slowly and gradually, the day on which they have predicted that this person will fall from his horse and die, he became really inquisitive that let me see, this is the time that they have told this will happen. If they are really ghosts and they have predicted then this, then I should go and warn this Zamidar that this is about to happen. This thing is about to happen. So he um, walked toward the Zamidar house, and to his amazement, as soon as he came there, he saw that Zamidar was anyways very angry on his wife, and he was uh, hurling curses on his wife that why she's fighting with me. And then he was so angry, he sat on his horse and again started racing around his horse. And as soon as he can say something that, oh, you calm down, or there is some imminent danger in front of me, in front of him, this person slipped from the horse and at a high speed and fell down and break open his skull, and immediately in an utter shock he died. And then this person, he got very much shocked that, oh, I could not saved him the way these ghosts have predicted. In the same way, this person have died. So next day again, he thought that, oh, let me go and see whether this person really has become ghost and joined them. So he again on his return path again took that path in the night and reached the same spot where he saw those ghosts. And this time, as soon as he was approaching, he saw that those ghosts are crying, lamenting very badly. So this Muslim gentleman, he joined this person and he told that, oh, the way that you have predicted that this Zamidar will die, he will have fight with his wife, he'll sit on that horse, he'll fell down from the horse and he will die. The same way things has happened. And I can see that earlier you guys were laughing and now you are crying. What has happened? So they told, oh, we are really unfortunate because we were thinking that this Zamidar will join us um, as another ghost, but accidentally it so happened that the day on which this Zamidar has a fight with his wife is Ekadashi day. And because of having fight with his wife didn't offer him to eat anything, and he was so angry that he also didn't eat anything. And because of not eating anything, not even drinking anything, even though it was for some period of time that he didn't eat or drink anything, but because it's Ekadashi and he didn't eat or drink anything, and then in fight he fell down from the horse and died. So because of even whatever duration of time he fasted on Ekadashi, he gets such a pious merit that he avoid the ghostly life. He didn't become ghost. He got liberated. And that's why we are crying that we missed this opportunity. And such a sinful person, he accidentally fasted on Ekadashi and got liberated. And then this Muslim gentleman, he became very much surprised that, oh, such is a power of Ekadashi fast. And then he decided on himself that whatever my religion will say, whatever others will say, even secretly as well, I'll not eat anything on Ekadashi. And this story he himself narrated to Prabhupada. And he told him that's why I always fast on Ekadashi. And I was very much perplexed that even though I promise you that I will eat something on your home on this and this day. But I was thinking that how I will say no to you, and you might have prepared so many things. What I will say, I was very much under uh, an anxiety that what I will tell you. But I'm very much relieved knowing that you are also following Ekadashi, because many Hindu people also nowadays are not observing Ekadashi. So I was very much perplexed. So then Prabhupada has narrated the story, and this is a true story, true incidents, which provide us with the significance that how important is the Ekadashi. What to speak about that, Mataji? You even might be aware there is a plane crash, right? In Ahmedabad. You might have heard about it, right?
Yeah.
Flight toward London. So one person only has survived, and this person, he was having Kanti mala in his neck.
Oh,
Yeah. And one who is wearing Tulasi Mala, generally Akala Mrityu, like untimely death. One will be saved from untimely death if he's having Kanti Mala. And
was he a devotee or he just had the country?
he had the Kanti Mala. I'm not sure he's a devotee or not. And in the plane crash, like you will see, everything has burned. The only thing that is remaining is Bhagavad Gita. You might
Yeah,
be
I saw
getting that video.
Prabhupada's,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
Prabhupada's. Yeah.
Yeah. Prabhupada's
I
book.
saw that, but I think somebody posted the picture of the two ISKCON devotees, so I thought it was theirs. But yeah, I don't know how the person. The person who survived, was he a devotee or not? That is not mentioned yet.
And there is one similar incident has happened. It was um, documented pre-independence time. I think one of the journal of this Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose INS movement, he has documented. I'm not sure it was the same plane crash on which they told that Subhash Chandra Bose has died, or what was it? So there was a plane crash and everyone has died in that plane crash. And only one small child has survived. At that
Hmm.
point of time as well, the child has survived, and that child was having that Bhagavad Gita on his chest. And when the people who they lifted that Bhagavad Gita, so there was the same page in which Krishna was saying that to my devotee, I protect what they have and I provide that what they lack. And this child only he survived with that page open with him. So it was documented. If I'll get that clip of that news cutting, it was pre-independence time, then I'll share it with you. So there are like so many things, very wonderful things about importance of Ekadashi, importance of Kanthimala. Hare Krishna, Nita Mataji. You can hear me? I can see you unmute, but I can't hear you. Okay. Anyways, so 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 this tell us, and there are so many innumerable incidences like this, which provide us a view uh, uh, that how important it is to follow Ekadashi, to apply tilak on your body, to wear kanthimala. Um, so today's we are stressing more on Ekadashi, importance of Ekadashi, than when we'll be covering more on importance of Tulasi Maharani and other things. Then we'll talk about that. But this Ekadashi is very much dear to Lord. And anyone, even if accidentally they will fast on these Ekadashis, uh, then also they get the pious merits. We have in Ekadashi Mahatmya some of the stories uh, glorifying the importance of fasting on Ekadashi days. And one of the stories about a king's son, who even though was very impious, uh, have done a lot of sinful activities, but somehow it so happened that he was being debarred from the kingdom. He was suffering like anything, and then on accidentally on Ekadashi day, he didn't got anything to eat because of the because of his bodily condition. He could not even raise himself up and eat anything, and being thirsty and hungry throughout the day. Somehow, when he fasted on Ekadashi, Lord being pleased has awarded him everything back. So, this Ekadashi or devotional services to the Lord, even if someone will perform accidentally without knowing. So, like we know this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, even if someone will do it mockingly, then also they get the effect. What to speak about following it or practicing it with due consideration, keeping this in mind that it is for the pleasure of the Lord. So, um, Lord is telling this to Bhagavad Gita, my dear, to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. My dear Arjuna, winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So, in the last sessions, we understood that there are two kind of person. One kind of person somehow, um, so they are either Nitya Siddh, like eternally liberated. They are either Kripa Siddh, somehow by the mercy of their spiritual master, by the Vaishnavas, they are liberated. Or Sadhana Siddh, by performing regulative principles, by performing chanting of Hare Krishna mantra for very long, they become liberated. So there are like some person who are liberated um, from the very birth itself, or maybe at some point of time they become liberated. So if they are completely liberated, they are anyways always thinking about Krishna, how to serve him. So like Mirabai, she was always thinking of Krishna, always serving Krishna from the very childhood itself. So these liberated person, um, they may follow regulative principle or may not follow regulative principle. They may follow something, may not follow something, but because they are completely Krishna conscious, so they will anyways, after leaving this body, will go back home, back to Godhead. They may have different set of dealings with the Lord. So like in the last session, we discussed the story about Damodar Chaube, who was handling Krishna like his own son and then showing the stick to the Lord, forcing him to eat. But they are doing it in love of God. If we will do the same thing, we'll imitate the same thing without having love of God, then that is offensive, that is sinful. So for us, because 99.99% of the people fall into another category, that we are not having any love for Krishna. If there is opportunity, we have to choose between Krishna or something else, we'll choose something else, we'll not choose Krishna. We may have time throughout the whole day if we can chant as well, but we may choose watching YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or talking with some other friends. We'll not choose Krishna. So, for all of us who, by our own consciousness, are not choosing Krishna, but we know the importance, we know theoretically at
Inside.
least, Hare Krishna, we at least know theoretically that we are part and parcel of Krishna, then we should follow the regulative path that is given by Srila Prabhupada for all of us. That we try to wake up early in the morning, after taking bath, applying tilak, we'll do Mangalarti for the Lord. Then we chant Hare Krishna mantra or prescribed 16 round of chanting. Then we have to hear Shrimad Bhagavatam. Then whatever work that we have to do, office work or whatever we, or household work, we have to complete that. Then in evening again we have to hear Bhagavad Gita, perform the prayers to the Lord, kirtan for the pleasure of the Lord. And this way, throughout the day, somehow or the by cooking for the Lord, offering to the Lord. So this way, by um, regulating our activities in such a fashion, making a timetable in such a fashion that we can think of Lord some way or the other. This will help us because we are making our uh, efforts to think about Lord, to perform some devotional services to the Lord. And that will also act because by forcefully doing this thing, one day will come that automatically this will become natural to us. Right now, we are putting so much stress thinking about Lord. Later point of time, it will happen that automatically we can think of Lord. Why? Because by regulated devotional services, our sense will become slowly and gradually purified. And once they become purified, because right now they're in the diseased state, we are more attracted toward hearing mundane music, uh, watching mundane content. But once our senses will become purified, automatically we'll lose interest watching those content and will anyways want to immerse ourselves in more and more um, Krishna conscious subject matter. We want to hear glories of Krishna. We want to hear the subject matter related with Krishna. We want to watch the content related with Krishna. So this will automatically happen. Right now we are, because in past so many birth, what we have done is material activities. So our attention, our inclination is toward that only. But by this regulated devotional services, we can train ourselves. We can train ourselves uh, to forcefully put our attention toward Krishna, and then automatically it will happen because this Krishna consciousness is there in everyone's heart. It is not an artificial thing. It is not that somehow by force, someone can make you Krishna conscious. No, you are by your own constitutional position as Krishna conscious. You are part and parcel of Krishna. So you actually are meant to perform devotional services to Krishna. So after even regulated devotional services, automatically once you become purified, you will come more and more near to your constitutional position, and then you can perform it without any external forces. So will you will automatically come to sadhana siddhi stage. That is, by following the regulative principle, you become purified. So Krishna himself is saying, in Prabhupada in his purport is telling that there are two different processes of bhakti yoga. First applies to one who has actually developed an attachment for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by transcendental love. And the other is for one, like for all of us, who has not developed an attachment for the Supreme Person by transcendental love. For this second class, there are different prescribed rules and regulation one can follow to be ultimately elevated to the stage of attachment to Krishna, and which is all given by Srila Prabhupada, which I have highlighted. So, Bhakti Yoga is purification of the senses. So, by this regulative devotional services, we are purifying our senses. Because at the present moment in material existence, the senses are always impure, being engaged in sense gratification. But by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, these senses can become purified, and in the purified state, they can come directly in contact with the Supreme Lord. So, actually, Krishna is our Father, and being in touch with Father, talking to Father, um, looking at Father, these are not something which is extraordinary. Sometimes people say that, oh, it's very extraordinary if someone has seen God, or someone can see God. That is a that is a miracle. No, it's not miracle. Um, Actually, He's our Father. He's our eternal Father, and it's for a child to see his father is not something extraordinary. That's very natural. But because we become contaminated while here in this material world, our spiritual senses are there. So, like this body that we see is actually covering over our spiritual body. So, we actually in spiritual body as well, we have our legs, we have our hand, we have our eyes, everything. But this is currently covered in the material covering. Why? Because we have come to this material world to become master, somehow become master. So we are getting an opportunity to become master in this material world. So we similarly got a body, material body as well, which is made up of these five elements, which are predominant in this earth as well. So we see, like, when we die, then also there is a conservation of energy. Law of conservation apply that when we die, everything, the water, it evaporates from our body. So much part of our body is water only. So when person die, all the water evaporates or go. If they are being buried, then it will go into the land itself, and then uh, or if it is burned, then it become ashes. It evaporate, and the other remaining body organs, they become ashes. So it will again change into those same five elements: earth, water, fire, air. So these things will happen. So so we got this body which is all made up of the material element, but in reality we are all spiritual. We have a spiritual body which is covered with this material body, but the arrangement are so intricate uh, that because of being covered also into the false ego, mind and intelligence, we start identifying ourselves with this body. When standing in front of mirror, we are thinking, oh, I'm looking very beautiful today, or I'm looking little old today, or things like that. But in reality, you have nothing to do with this body. But we all come into this illusion that no, we are this body. But when you come to perform regulated devotional services to the Lord, then you get this little understanding that, oh, no, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. And because of your senses becoming purified, and once you come to the complete purified state, then it become very natural. Then you can see Krishna. Right now, if someone come and say that, show me God. If you believe in God, show me God. But you are not. Your senses are completely contaminated. In a contaminated state, you cannot see Krishna, because Krishna is all pure, and we are known as International Society of Krishna Consciousness, because if your consciousness become completely detailed in Krishna, your eyes are anointed with love of God, then you can see Krishna. It's not that Krishna is not there. We all can see that that if someone is protected by Krishna, he is protected. So it's not that Krishna's protection is not there during the plane crash, uh, or someone die in an accident. It all happened by chance. Nothing happened by chance. Krishna is there. Krishna is present in three forms, like we can be realized in three forms. One is in Paramatma feature, he is present in everyone's heart. So if someone is trying to kill another person, Krishna is also sitting in his heart. If another person is not destined to be killed, then another person's heart will transformed at that point of time. He'll not kill. Krishna is there in um, as his own uh, as a person in Golok Vrindavan, and also he is all emanating. He is present everywhere. There is no place where Krishna is not present. Just like sunlight we see, even though sun is there so far in the sky, but sun rays are there wherever we can see. Sun rays is everywhere. So same way Krishna. So even though sun rays can be maybe covered with the cloud or things, these kind of things may happen, but Krishna is present everywhere, cannot be restricted by anything. So 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 that way, like if Krishna want to protect someone, he can protect him under water, under air, everywhere. If Krishna want to kill someone, no one can protect him. So everyone can see Krishna, but they have to come to that consciousness which is dovetailed with Krishna, and then he can see Krishna, because seeing his father is not a big thing. And sometimes we may um, question that, oh, so many people died, where is God? Why God has not saved him? So actually, in this material world, this body, it is meant to be finished in some time, either this way or that way. It is not that if they will be saved from this plane crash or from this Pahalgam attack, then they would not have died. They will, anyways, everyone has to die. But the ultimate aim is that, and in reality, because our real identity is soul. So in reality, we are not dying, only the body is changing, and this will carry on till the time we are here in this material world. The body has to change in some time, either by an accident, either untimely, or which we called untimely, either in young age or either in old age, some way or the other. Everyone has to leave this body, but the ultimate aim for which this body is given, why this all arrangement is given, we got this body, we can eat something, automatically it get digested, we get the energy. Why so much integrate mechanism is provided to us by the material energy of the Lord? It is provided just for one purpose, that you realize Krishna, you understand your relationship with Lord, and you return back home, back to God. But for the purpose it is given, rather than using it for that purpose, we are trying to use it for all the other purpose except this purpose. And for that reason only Lord has given us Bhagavad Gita. And because still we are not following it, so Lord is sending so many of his associate, his devotees, his followers to guide us in the same path. So for that purpose, like Prabhupada has came, and he again gave this process that you follow this regulative principles. You wake up early in the morning, offer Mangala Arati, uh, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra at least 16 times in a day, offered the offer the bhoga to the deities, accept it. And just by following these regulative principles, you will again become your senses become completely spiritualized. You can see Krishna or you can return back home, back to Godhead. So, so this stage of love can be achieved by practice of devotional services performed with the present senses. So, so this Bhakti Yoga is just the purification of the senses. Right now, as well, we are trying to serve some master. So we can see like you can serve anyone. You can serve your parents, you can serve your husband or wife or your children, you can, or your dog. Anyone you will serve, you will not be satisfied, neither they will be satisfied. How hard you will serve them, ultimately they are dissatisfied. You may be serving them maybe for or you can talk about any relative. You may be serving them for 10 years, but on 11th year, some way there is some mistake you commit and there is a fight. They will not like everything, whatever you have done with them, it will all come down to zero. They'll not acknowledge it. And the only thing that is highlighted is that you didn't do this thing proper, or you commit this particular mistake, or you didn't honor me on this particular occasion. So the reason is that they are not satisfied serving them. Neither you are satisfied, neither they will ever be satisfied. But Krishna is not like that. Any service that you perform, any small service you will perform, he'll be forever indebted. He'll always take that into consideration. That's always goes into your eternal basket. It will not happen that, oh, maybe for few years you served Krishna and then you forget serving Krishna. You may commit some offense and Krishna become very angry. No. He'll take consideration of whatever service that you have done. And that will become your eternal asset. So that is the difference in serving any other master and serving Krishna. How hard you may try to serve your boss in the office, next day will give you another thing, another thing, another thing. And the moment you will fail, you will be kicked out from your office. How hard you may try to serve any of your relative, friends, family member. You can serve them for 10, 20 years, but the moment there is some mistake in your service, you will be kicked out. The moment you will become incapable of serving them, you will be disrespected. They'll not think of that how hard you have served in the past. So that is the difference in serving Krishna and any other uh, object. So that's why better is to serve one with whom we have our eternal connection. And anyways, like all the other family member, friends and all, they are all temporary somehow by the arrangement of material nature, just like it's the analogy is given that the way in a river, different kind of straws they are floating. And it so happened that sometimes some different straws they come together, they float for some time together, and then these straws they again become dispersed. Some straw is floating in another direction, another straw is floating in another direction. Same way, somehow by the arrangement of providence, we all are gathered together in a one family. We have our wife or husband or children or parents, and we are all floating together. For sometimes we are all together, and then after some time again, like grandparents have died, similarly parents will die, and then husband, wife will die, kids will die, and then they will again into another body, into another family, and then again they get some lifespan in that family. But right now we are very much fortunate because the family that we have got, the lifespan that we have got, the body that we have got is human form of life. There are no rules and regulations for dogs. If there is a rule that everyone should go right, if dog is going left or right, or he is following a zigzag pattern, or he is not following any speed limitation, he will not be fined. But human being will find if he is not following rules and regulation, because human being, there are laws for the human being, not for animal. Similarly, these rules and regulations are there for human beings. So there is a rule that they have to take vegetarian grain bhoga, first offer it to the Lord and accept it, then they are not sinful. Then this is a rule for the human being, not for the animal. There can be like uncivilized men who are more like two-legged animal. So they may be eating non-vegetarian food stuff, but if a civilized man is eating this non-vegetarian food stuff, then he's no more an man, he's an animal. So these rules and regulations are meant for a human being, and they're made for human being to actually realize that for what purpose they have got the civilized form, for what purpose they have got this human form of life. So this love of God is now in the dormant state in everyone's heart, and their love of God is manifest in different ways, but it is contaminated by material association. Now the heart has to be purified of the material association, and that dormant natural love for Krishna has to be revived. That is the whole process. So the whole process of you getting this human form of life and how to perfect it is already given. So the only plan, the only aim of getting this human form of life is to perfect yourself by devotional services, by regulated devotional services as of now, because we are not in the liberated state. We have to forcefully uh, force our mind in performing devotional services to Krishna. And the most important thing in performing devotional services to Krishna is chanting. If you are not chanting, then you forget about following four regulative principles. Then one of the regulative principle will break automatically. Why? Because your mind will not have any power to control it. So this chanting is the most important thing. That's why Prabhupada has given this process that as soon as you wake up in the morning, you start with this 16 round of chanting, 16 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, you get ready, do the Mangal Arati, and then immediately, as soon as you are done with Mangal Arati, uh, you pray to the spiritual master uh, for his mercy. Immediately you sit down and you start chanting the 16 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because without chanting, you forget about following regulative principles. Any of them, like meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, gambling, any of the regulative principle you will break. And the point is that as soon as you break one regulative principle, there are chances you will break the other regulative principles as well. So, for example, if someone start taking liquor, so automatically, because liquor is very heavy on the stomach, to so the liquor should not affect the lining in the stomach. One need to eat a very high proteinous substance. So automatically, if he's taking liquor, he want to take some chicken, some mutton also along with it. He automatically will desire that I should be taking some chicken, some mutton. And automatically you will see that those people who are taking drinks, they also take non-vegetarian food stuff as well, because they go hand in hand together. To They need to have so much of non-veg and then they can digest that liquor. Otherwise, if they will take that liquor empty stomach, then they will have so many complications, burning in the stomach or stomach lining getting disturbed with liquor. So once they will take liquor, they will also eat non-vegetarian food stuff. Then because of eating non-vegetarian food stuff, taking liquor, their mind become completely uncontrolled. They will not have any control over their mind. And then automatically they will go for illicit sex as well, illicit relationship. They'll, even though they may be properly married, they may have nice husband or wife, but then they will also become attracted toward other uh, relationship, having other relationship. And automatically, because uh, they are into illicit relationship, and they will become uh, they will no longer become truthful. They'll no longer be truthful. They'll have to speak so many lies to uh, avoid getting caught. So, so this gambling means like actually speaking lie, cheating others. So this cheating will automatically come into picture. And then sometimes to support their intoxication, gambling, illicit activities, um, like they will gamble as well. They may gamble as well. That oh, I may be having less money, let me gamble and make more money. Gambling means doesn't necessarily mean just gambling on the casinos. They may be gambling over the stocks, that let me invest in a stock, immediately I'll get some, the stocks will go up and then I'll make more money. Or some way or maybe in the bitcoins, cryptocurrency, some way or the other, something which further disturb their peace of mind. If stocks are not doing well, they'll again peace of mind will get disturbed. So if they break one regulative principle, automatically all the other regulative principle will also break gradually. And it is told that the one who is involved into intoxication, meat eating, illicit sex activities, then there can be a chances to commit crimes. So generally we see so many like this these newses are coming, like the Sonam or the killing of this Raja Raghuvanshi and all those things. So we see like the wife, she got uh, involved into illicit relationship, and then she even killed her own husband. So the point is already written, uh, already spoken by devotees, that if you are into illicit sex relationship, you can even become killer, because the sins become so heavy that on the influence of that sins you can even become a murderer, even without knowing, because your mind becomes so much covered because of the sins. So if you perform one sinful activity, automatically there are chances that other sinful activities will automatically follow. And to control our mind is very difficult, but the greatest thing that Lord has given in this age is chanting of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Is somehow or the other you can chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You make it a priority that somehow or the other I have to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. All the other senses will automatically become controlled. You can try it yourself. It's an open secret. If you somehow or the other make it your practice that you have to chant, automatically all the other allurement, everything will stop. Automatically you will come above the bodily platform of life. You'll not like to even look at others' face, what to speak about going into illicit relationship. So to practice the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga, one should, under the guidance of an expert spiritual master, follow certain principles. That is, one should rise early in the morning, take bath, enter the temple and offer prayers and chant Hare Krishna. Then collect flower to offer to the deities, cook food stuff to offer to the deities, take prasadam and so on. There are various rules and regulations which one should follow, and one should constantly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. So generally we see that all the temples there are in the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discourse are going on. So many devotees, pure devotees, they are giving daily Srimad Bhagavatam discourse. So either we can join those sessions, those are conducted over Zoom. Um, you must be getting the daily reminder. If not, you can check with your circle of devotees, and you will get some or the other links where like daily Bhagavatam Katha is going on. You can hear it. Like I know one of the group from His Grace Sankarshan Das Adhikari Prabhu, like daily reminders are being sent, daily Bhagavatam class. Um, if that is also not possible, maybe your time is not matching with their Bhagavatam class, then you have Prabhupada Vani site. You can go and listen daily to Prabhupada lecture. So some way or the other you should hear uh, Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees, either from Srila Prabhupada or Prabhupada's disciples or any pure devotee that you know, following the bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara. You can hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from then, and then automatically your illusion that is there in your mind will get cleared. So this practice can help anyone rise to the level of love of God, and then he's sure of his progress into the spiritual kingdom of God. This practice of Bhakti Yoga under the rules and regulation with the direction of a spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of God. So we are working so hard in this material world, definitely. But ultimately, whatever hard work we have done, whatever we have wealth that we have amazed, we have to leave it in few years. Maybe in next 10, 20 years, many of us will leave our bodies. And that's for sure. We may be hearing of death of this and that, but we are not getting impacted. We are thinking, oh, we are at least living. But soon we will also become a news 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the line. We all will become a photo frame where there is a garland if we are very fortunate our family member are remembering us, but we will not be more than that. So we may be working hard for something or the other, but soon we will be not remembered just as a photo frame in someone's house at one place, one corner, and there may be one garland hung on our photo. That's it. No more, nothing more will be done. So rather than wasting all our effort, all our uh, energy in all those endeavor, we can at least give time for devotional services to Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. Sometimes people may be thinking, oh, I'm working so hard. I'm amazing more and more wealth. I'm doing this and this and this fashion. But in reality, according to the modes of material nature, the modes that you have acquired, the destiny that you are having, the happiness and distress that you are going to get depending upon your activities in past hundred birth, you are bound to get that happiness and distress. You don't have to strive for it. Automatically, you will get it. Uh, so sometimes people are thinking, oh, I was in India, I have come to Canada, and now I'm making more money. But no, the kind of suffering that you will be getting in India, same suffering you will get in Canada only. The form will change. So, for example, you will see that by the modes of material nature, we know that earlier, um, maybe 100 years ago, people were very poor, and then um, they're in they're living in tents or in open places. And now in 100 years, so much of economic progress we have done. People earlier were getting very less money. Now people are getting so much money compared to the last time, 200 years ago. Maybe earlier people may be getting $10, now they may be getting $1,000 or $2,000 and things like that. But if you see in reality, there are still similar percentage of people who are homeless, who are living a life without getting proper food. They are lying in open. So still there are poor people. Why this is happening? Because by the mode of material nature, there are some people like who are in the mode of ignorance. They will be poor. They will remain poor. By the mode of material nature, automatically, like there are certain percentage of people who will live in particular standard of life, then another percentage of people who will live in another standard of life. So you can see the example of hippies, even though being born in s- rich families as well, because by the modes of material nature they are in ignorance. They come out, they're lying in the street, they are not having any food, they are sometime half naked, not having proper clothes, even though born in a rich family. Why? Because modes by modes of material nature, they will live that kind of life only. So similarly, you may be thinking, oh, I have come to Canada and I'm earning a lot of money, but the kind of suffering you'll have. So if in India as well, you may be working for 13, 14, 15 or 16 hours and then getting daily bread, here also you'll work like that. You may be getting money in dollars, but your living standard will still remain the same. And people don't understand it. They're running here and there. But this is not something I'm telling. This is the verdict from Prabhupada. Prabhupada is a pure devotee of Lord. He's eternal associate of Lord. He's telling this thing. And that is a fact. So rather than wasting your time running here and there, whatever place you are in, maybe now, right now, you are all here. Whatever place you are in, don't run for happiness or distress. The time that you are having, if you can spend it in devotional services to the Lord, that is for your eternal credit. Nothing else. Whatever, every other thing, whatever happiness you have to get, whatever distress you have to get, everything is already predestined. You can't change it much. The free will that you have got is for the devotional services to Krishna. So the same circumstances will come, but under the same circumstances, if you can think of Krishna, you can perform your devotional services. That is to your eternal credit. So, so this Krishna consciousness is there in everyone's of our heart. It only have to be revived. So there are so many rules and regulation, and if one at all want to understand Krishna, he must follow the regulative principle described in the authoritative literature. One can perform penances in accordance with those principles. For example, to undergo serious penances, one may observe fasting on Janmashtami, the day on which Krishna appeared, on the 2 days of Ekadashi, 11th day from the new moon and 11th day after the full moon. And Ekadashi falls once in 15 days. So we all can make a oath that, oh, we'll try to follow Ekadashi. It's very easy, very simple. Those who cannot fast from who cannot fast without water, they can take water, they can take fruits, they can take certain vegetables which are allowed to be taken on Ekadashi. And then there are so many right now, devotees have created so many Ekadashi cookbooks. You can prepare so many wonderful items that you will not even feel that you are fasting. So Ekadashi is very simple that you just have to abstain from grain. So like last week we discussed that on Ekadashi days, sin reside on grains. So you have to avoid grains. You can take milk products, you can take fruits, you can take some kind of vegetables. Uh, so even there are like some kind of flours like Rajgira flours or Singhada flours or uh, kutu flours. So all those things as well can be utilized to make puris or rotis if you're very much accustomed to eating that. So it's very easy actually to follow Ekadashi is very, very easy. And Lord is not asking you to do very severe penances that you stand on one leg inside the water and then only you can please. No, just by following Ekadashi, little austerity for the Lord, you can please the Lord. So at least because we have got this human form of life, at least this much austerity we should try to perform. We can fast on Ekadashi's days, we can fast on Janmashtami, Krishna Janmashtami, Ram Navami, and other uh, appearance days of the Lord and appearance or disappearance day of senior Vaishnavas. So one has to perform devotional services in full tapasya austerity. One should fast on 2 Ekadashi's days, which falls on the 11th day of waxing and waning of moon, and on the birthdays of Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, etc. There are many such fasting days. Yogina means by controlling the senses and mind. Yoga Indriya Samya. Yogina implies that one is seriously absorbed in self and is able by development of knowledge to understand his constitutional position in relationship with super self. In this way, one becomes fixed in devotional services, and his faith cannot be shaken by any material allurement. So, fasting on Ekadashi means like we at least imply some control over the senses. So, after following Ekadashi, you can see that, oh, in Ekadashi, if we can fast fully, then what to speak about controlling our senses when there is non offered food offered to us. So, many people have this inclination toward eating like anything which is cooked by anyone. Like if they are going outside, they want to taste everything. In India, generally, we see there are so many street vendors. If someone is going out, he will taste some samosa from somewhere, some jalebi from some place, some pani ke batashe from another place. So there is this much tendency. Same is the here as well. Like you have Uber Eats, you may try the preparations from each and every restaurants. But if you can follow Ekadashi, you can see that oh, in Ekadashi we avoid even eating all the grain food stuff. What to speak about avoiding food cooked by non-devotees. At least we can take little restraint. We may be hungry. We want to satisfy our senses immediately, but we can at least apply some control over our senses. We may cook some night food stuff for Lord, offer it to the Lord, and then accept it. And this way, automatically, because we are what we eat, by controlling our senses, by eating Krishna Prasadam only, our body is also made up of what we eat. So by eating spiritualized food, our body becomes spiritualized, and that is the ultimate aim. Our body becomes spiritualized. We can understand Krishna. We can know Krishna. And we can see Krishna. So, so yoga implies that one is seriously absorbed in the self and is by able development of knowledge to understand his constitutional position in relationship with the super self. In this way, one becomes fixed in devotional services and his faith cannot be shaken by any material allurement. So, right now, someone may come and maybe give you some material allurement, or you eat this or that, or any kind of material allurement that maybe this much wealth is there if you work hard, avoid Krishna, and maybe you become rich and you will get nice car, nice house, and things like that. But in reality, if you understand your constitutional position in relationship with Krishna, then automatically by your realized knowledge, you can see that, oh, this life is very short. Anyways, whatever I'll acquire, I have to leave it in some time. Rather than putting all my effort in that direction, let me just perform devotional services to Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. Anyways, I have to leave this body, this family. Another birth will be in another family. So rather than taking birth again and again in different families, let me take my birth in the family of Krishna. That is back home, back to Godhead, Golok Vrindavan. So in the Brahma Vaivarth Puran, it is said that one who observes fasting on Ekadashi days is freed from all kind of reaction to sinful activities and advances in pious life. So the basic principle is not just to fast, but to increase one's faith and love for Govinda or Krishna. So that is the ultimate aim. It's not that you are just fasting, um, watching movies, uh, playing games. No. Aim is to actually increase one's love or faith for Krishna or Govinda. So that's why on fasting days, on Ekadashi days, one should increase their chanting. Generally, people chant 16 round on other days. On Ekadashi days, because so much of time is getting saved, you're not cooking anything, you're not eating much of the food stuff. So that time saved, you can apply in your chanting. You can chant more number of round, or you can read more, you can perform more devotional services on that day. So the real reason for observing fasting on Ekadashi is to minimize the demands of body and to engage over time in the service of Lord by chanting or performing similar service. So the best thing to do on fasting days is to remember the pastime of Govindas and to hear his holy name constantly. Thank you. So I think this was the session. If someone can quickly read Preaching is the Essence, then we are on the time. Kapil Prabhu, you want to read Preaching is the Essence?
Okay. Can I read?
Yeah, okay, Mother, you can read it.
Uh, Preaching is the essence. If we if we follow the rules and regulations of devotional service, we can elevate others. When a person is advanced in spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness, he usually becomes very sympathetic towards all living beings, all living entities suffering in the material world. Naturally, such an advanced person thinks of the suffering of people in general. If one is actually sympathetic to fallen suffering humanity, he should try to elevate people from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness. By the grace of Krishna, we may raise a person in spiritual consciousness if we ourselves follow the rules and regulations. If we give up our own spiritual activities and simply become concerned with the bodily comforts of others, we will fall into a dangerous position.
Thanks a lot, Mataji. So, all of us, any one of us, because we are all part and parcel of Krishna, we are related with Krishna. If you follow the regulative principles which are given, like if you only eat Krishna Prasadam, bhoga offered to the Lord, you chant 16 round of Hare Krishna mantra, you hear the lectures from Srila Prabhupada or from pure devotees, then automatically you will see within 6 months itself, you will see that you become very much compassionate on other living entities. When you will see people working so hard day and night, maybe in some construction place or somewhere, then you will see that, oh, they are all part and parcel of Krishna and they are struggling so hard. When you will see people begging, beggars, you will feel compassionate that they are actually the part and parcel of Krishna, and then they are suffering so heavily here in this material world. And automatically you will try to help them in some way or the other. You may offer them, give them some fruit offered to Krishna, because you understand that they are suffering because of their sins here in this material world, but in reality they belong to a spiritual world. So so that's why, like, you try to follow this for maybe 6 months, and then you yourself will see how your perspective will change. Yes, Reena Mataji, you have a question. Yeah.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I just wanted to share and then ask a question as well.
Yes, sure.
For Ekadashi, a few weeks ago, I read an article from one of the sorry, my dog is barking. And so what the article was sharing was kind of research how fasting on the 11th day in the lunar cycle, like both times, um, the body takes 3 days to digest what you have eaten. So by the time the full moon or new moon arises, that's the time there's maximum pressure that builds. So, it helps with your physical health and your mental health. If 3 days before that you have eaten, you have not eaten grains, basically your system is light. So I found that very interesting. I mean, it's not mentioned in the scriptures, but science is now finally catching up with this understanding as well. And I think if you have any more material, I think sometimes people don't start on this path until they have like some reason why they should be fasting, because unless you have faith in Krishna, you're always looking for, oh, there must be some reason why I should be doing this.
Yes. Yes.
So if there's anything else that you have that I can share with other people.
Yeah. So scientifically, Mataji, so there was a research also done that so many cancer cells, they're already there in our body, but if generally people fast once in 15 days and they completely fast, like even not taking water, so then automatically our cells have this capability to eat something. So these cells automatically will eat the cancer cells, and that's why, like, people who are following Ekadashi rigorously, once in 15 days not eating anything, they will not face this problem of cancer. So that is something, even some Nobel laureate, he has come up with this idea. He got the Nobel Prize for this. And in people who generally follow Ekadashi, they automatically fast once in 15 days. So scientifically, there are so many things. Scientifically, if you see like moon, once there is a full moon day, like there are tidal waves and all those things. And we are also 90% of water. Moon affect us as well.
Yes.
So fasting on a particular day in relationship with the moon, that have uh, scientific significance as well. So whatever is given in scripture, that is good for our, maybe from material perspective as well, and for a spiritual perspective. Anyways, if we spiritually, we can think that, oh, we have done it for the pleasure of Krishna, that is anyways wonderful. Materially as well, if we are fasting on Ekadashi, and like we discussed, even with unknowingly we are fasting on Ekadashi, that is also for our benefit, because spiritual merit we'll anyways get knowingly or unknowingly if we fast. And then
Right.
material benefits are also there.
Like you said, Prabhuji, when you actually start the fast, like when I started, you know, I could feel the difference. But until someone starts, they can't feel it, right? And so they are
Yes.
always going
Yes.
with their own minds and
Yes.
logic that they need. So, and also, initially when I started fasting, I was counting on sabudana and, all kinds
Mm.
of stuff, because you were kind of feeling, maybe you're
Yes.
not that hungry, but psychologically it makes you
Mm.
feel like you haven't eaten. But gradually, when you keep it over months and months, your requirements actually also go down. You don't need to eat that much. You can just last on some yogurt and some fruits only, like throughout the day. And I'm trying to reduce further, but let's see how much progress I can make. Because
Yeah.
the Nirjala one I couldn't keep. I mean, I
Ah,
can't do without water.
that's fine. So those who are taking medicine, or there are like different body types. Some people, it's very difficult for them to fast completely. For them, it's all right, Mataji. They can take Srila Prabhupada generally, if you see, um, he takes like fruits and other stuff during the Ekadashi days. He was not fasting completely because of his old age, taking medications and other things. So, and he has made this Ekadashi very simple, that non-grain items you can take. And generally in
Mm,
ISKCONs, we see like so many kind of nice things, preparation they make on Ekadashi, like
mm,
from the quinoa, from paneer, from so many kinds of fruits. They're making such nice, wonderful items in Ekadashi. I'll share also some of the recipes that one can follow in Ekadashi. And that way, when with little austerity that we take, not taking grains, Lord is pleased. To please the Lord is very easy. Pleasing other people is very difficult, but pleasing the Lord is
That's
very
true. Yes, I agree, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class session.
easy.
Really
Thanks a lot.
enjoyed. Thank you. Learned a
Thanks a
lot.
lot.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thanks a lot,
You
Mataji.
know, like the grain, like I think it's given up in our books for reason for certain days to cleanse
Yes.
our body, right? And the
Yes, Mataji.
science is finding now, like
Correct.
I have bad shape of arthritis, right?
Mm,
Like 30 years ago, I was told, oh, you can be in wheelchair, but I kept like, my dad was homeopath and Ayurvedic. I kept following, but then I searched my own. When I fast for Navratris for 8 days,
mm, mm,
I don't eat grain, I don't eat alus and sabudana and all that stuff.
mm,
I make something from the nuts and dry ginger,
mm,
and I just eat that and some fruits. And then all of a sudden, I notice like my swelling's gone
mm,
in 8 days, right? And then one time my dad got very sick, so I
mm,
gave up food for his like recovery, right?
mm,
And then all of a sudden, like I was not even taking medication.
mm,
So I think like our like Bhagavad Gita and our spiritual, we like they knew like million years ago what science is finding now.
mm,
Like Akadashi were saying like like we didn't know why we're doing it, right? We
mm,
just did it because our parents are doing it or somebody's telling us to do it,
mm,
right?
mm.
But now, like uh, going through these classes, we're finding out like it's not only spiritual benefit, it's the health benefits too, right?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
So, yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for
Mm,
explanation. And then the devotees add everything.
yes, yes. So even Prabhupada has given this example. Prabhupada has told that when there is a guest, he'll come to your house, and if you don't give him anything, then he'll go away. So these diseases are like guests. If they come and you fast, you don't
Yeah.
give them enough power, then they will go away. So Prabhupada was giving an example that these birds and animals you will see when they are diseased, when they get fever and things like that, they don't eat anything. They fast, and then
Mhm.
automatically they get cured. It is only the human being that if they are having fever or something, then also they are eating. So generally fast is very good for health benefit. If you fast, then you very quickly recover from the diseases as well. So sometime fasting, at least what Lord has recommended on Ekadashi, is very much beneficial for our health. So fasting is so Prabhupada has told that you will see that people dying from overeating is more than compared to people dying from hunger. You
That's
very
true.
rarely find that one is fasting and he died. People who are overeating, they will definitely will develop more and more diseases, either fatty liver or some or the other kind of problems he will get. But those who are fasting regularly, they will not get so many problems, so many diseases. So that's why
It's just
fasting is, yeah,
it's
it,
just the mind plays games on us. I think we
yes.
can give up by body,
Mm,
but I think just it's hard to control the mind, right?
yes,
So and then you know uh, then these classes and in morning classes, it's
mm,
just a reminder, right? We can do it. Like few
yes,
people are like they're motivating each other, right? So
yes.
we can do it. Like now I gave up grain on Wednesdays. I always choose one day, right?
Mm,
I gave up a grain on Wednesday. Like
mm,
it's like because my arthritis was getting worse, so
mm,
it's like it's benefiting, and this giving
correct.
up a grain in our in our spiritual books by
Yes,
Krishna and everything. It was done by region, but we didn't know the reason at that time. But I'm
correct.
experimenting on myself, right?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, so definitely, yeah. Ayurveda is also given by Lord only, Lord Dharmantri. If someone can follow those principles, he'll have a lot of health benefits. So, Lord is helping everyone. We got this material body, but how we will live, Lord has given everything
Yeah.
as part of His Bhagavad Gita.
We just stop following God. We didn't know why are we
Yes.
doing it. Like
Hmm.
there's some Canadian people, right? Like after my accident, they were telling me, "Oh, take turmeric, like take it this way." Like I'm like, yeah, like sometimes we forget, like.
Yes. Yes. They are patenting so many of our medicines, Ayurvedic.
Yeah, I know. Like they're telling me at work, like this guy comes every week. He said, "Did you start that? Drink it in water, drink it in this one, right?" So,
Hmm.
like after my accident, he reminds me like almost every week, like, "Did you drink it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I started it." Because we think putting it in subjis is better, but taking the way they are taking it, benefiting
Hmm.
better than like subjis, right?
Correct. Correct. Okay, so tomorrow is Sunday. You all can visit your nearest ISKCON temple. Yes, Mother, you were trying to say something. Sorry, I cut down. So any other questions, if anyone is having, they can raise it. Otherwise, we'll meet next Saturday.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.